Julián Álvarez to Barcelona, it will happen by the end. There is no other outcome. There is no Arsenal. There is no PSG. And especially he's not staying at Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid will have to accept this fact by the end. All they are doing right now is just wasting time and delaying the inevitable. So, before we continue discussing the topic of Julián Álvarez to Barcelona and the details and everything that's been happening this past week, make sure, by the way, to like this video and to subscribe to this channel and get your notices on. Every update about any situation when it comes to transfer news about Barcelona is reported first in here. I go live every day reporting news first hand. So make sure to subscribe and get the notices on. Also, make sure to check out OK Jersey and use code POPPY for 8% off if you want to get your kits for next season for the highest quality, fastest shipments. So thank you. Okay, let's start. Julián Álvarez to Barcelona. By the end, it will happen like I said. At this moment right now, what Julián Álvarez did is something special, and that was required to be done, and no one believed that Julián Álvarez will be doing it, especially mid-World Cup. Every rumor, every report was saying that Julián Álvarez will not speak mid-World Cup, and some others even believe that he will never speak. He doesn't have the cojones to come out and speak and talk about a sensitive situation like this and hurting his team that Atletico Madrid fans and Atletico Madrid themselves believed that he will never do. That Julián Álvarez doesn't even want to leave. That's what they've been saying from the start. What Atletico Madrid and their fans were having this conversation about, like, Julián Álvarez didn't speak, never spoke. Nah, don't even start talking to us about this. He never actually mentioned anything to us. Julián Álvarez is happy at Atletico Madrid and he want to stay at Atletico Madrid. This is what they've been dropping every time. This is what they've been saying all the time. But what's been shown is that Atletico Madrid is a lying club. Atletico Madrid is actually full of liars. Everyone, they are lying and lying to themselves. They didn't believe what Julián Álvarez told them before he came out and spoke publicly. What he told them that he wants to leave. What he told them is that he wants to join Barcelona and Barça only. It's been reported, like I talked about the last video, that Atletico Madrid had an agreement with PSG and Arsenal for Julián Álvarez. Julián Álvarez rejected both offers. He only wants Barça and Barça only. When he came out in that interview and said he wants to fulfill his dream and a transfer is best for both parties, he meant fulfill his dream. That means Barcelona. It didn't say fulfill his dream by playing at PSG. I'm sorry, respectfully, since he was younger, his dream was playing at Barça. Since he was, what, in that video, 10 years old, 11 years old. PSG by that time didn't even exist. No one knew PSG even existed. That wasn't his dream at that time. Do you think anyone in 2012 was waking up and I'll be like, my dream is to play for PSG? They weren't even a serious club at that moment in the Ligue 1. And Arsenal, he wanted to fulfill his dream by playing at Arsenal. Like, I'm sorry, Argentinian player wanted to fulfill his dream by playing at Arsenal. For what? Trust the process for another 20 years to win the next trophy in 2046? No. His dream is to play for Barcelona. The same club that had the greatest jugador of all time, Lionel Messi. So, by fulfilling his dream, he wants Barça. By fulfilling his dream, he also want to stay in Spain. He left England for a reason. He want to stay in Spain. He joined Atletico Madrid, and I believe that was a mistake. I think my guess about the situation of Julián Álvarez joining Atletico Madrid and why he didn't wait and joined Barça or Real Madrid. By that time, when he decided to leave, it was 2024, from City to Atletico Madrid. In Spain, Barcelona had Lewandowski and they had financial issues which they couldn't move for a player with his value. For example, like Atletico Madrid paid 75 million plus 20 million in bonuses, which concludes to 95 million. Barcelona was not ready to spend all of that money with the 1-1 rule, the financial situation, and Lewandowski, especially being a striker, which was still giving something to the club. And he gave to the club. Real Madrid, they just landed Kylian Mbappe. They didn't need another striker or another attacker, and especially after a big deal like this. So all remains for him is Atletico Madrid, and as he wished to play in Spain, so there is no other option apart from Atletico Madrid. So him joining Atletico Madrid was just a stepping stone to Barcelona. That is it. He always wanted Barça. He always dreamed about playing for Barça. So Atletico Madrid, and as they should be, a stepping stone. Atletico Madrid is not a serious club. Atletico Madrid is not a club that someone gonna be like, hey, I want to play for Atleti. My dream, to fulfill his dream, is to fulfill my contract with Atleti. A trophyless club. A club known for bottlers. Their history is finals of the Champions League. Even in the past, like I said, they have nothing. They were a relegation zone team until Simeone showed up. No one takes Atletico Madrid seriously. Their biggest achievement the last years is knocking Barça out from the Champions League. That's their trophy. That's what they focus on. Winners focus on winning. Losers like Atletico Madrid, they focus on winners. And I'm pretty sure that Julián Álvarez doesn't want to be part of this. They don't want to be part, he doesn't want to be part of a club plans like this. He want to succeed. He want to win trophies. The man does want everything by the age of 25, 24. He want to win more. He's addicted to winning. Atletico Madrid is addicted to failure. So, Atletico Madrid lately, Gil Marin, who is the share owner of Atletico Madrid by like 10%, which is not as big as Apollo, which the ones that they actually own 55%. So, Gil Marin came out and said that Barcelona is a lying club, even though that he's the one that lied. Even though that his club lied. They said that Julián Álvarez doesn't want to leave. He never spoke and he never said anything until he came out and proved everything they said is a lie. They also lied that Barcelona never sent a 100 million bid, but it was proven that it was sent to Alemany. They also lied to, especially Gil Marin, they also lied to Julián Álvarez by Julián Álvarez going to Gil Marin in February, telling him that he wants to leave, and if a transfer to Barcelona happens, then that's what he wants. And Gil Marin told him that he's gonna make it easier for him if he wants to leave. Fake, false promises. That's what he did to him. That's what he gave him. So who's lying right now? We never lied. And him saying that we're gonna file a complaint to FIFA, okay? Because Barcelona started negotiations with the player first, even though Atletico Madrid initiated those same exact negotiations with Grimaldo before talking to Bayer Leverkusen, Canguilí before talking to PSG. They had the agreement of the player first before having the agreement of the club. Because that's how every move happens. Real Madrid right now are having negotiations with Enzo Fernandez before having negotiations with the club. How can you go and ask a club about a player that doesn't want to join you? Real Madrid exactly gone and did this play, this fake bid being sent to Atletico Madrid, 150 million words, so they can show Barcelona how business should be done. For them to get rejected, that even Atletico Madrid rejected them for 150 million bid, and Julián Álvarez was like, do they think they have a chance? Huh? No, exactly. You need to go have the agreement with the player first before going for the team. Wasting your time like what PSG and Arsenal is doing? No, you need to get the player's agreement first before wasting your energy with a club like Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid again. To add some things, Atletico Madrid, they had an agreement with both PSG for money and Atletico and Arsenal for Gyökeres plus 50 million. Both of these deals were for Julián Álvarez. Julián Álvarez rejected them, told them, I'm sorry, I only want Barça. So, seeing this from a great jugador like Julián Álvarez means a lot. And it's special. And like I always say, the dream of every player is to play for Barcelona. That's why you are watching right now Real Madrid panicking, signing everyone. Even if Barca thinks about someone, they will sign him. Because they don't want us to be great. They don't want us to come back to where we are supposed to be. Because we are scary to them. When we dominate like crazy. That's their worst nightmare. They're rather for both of us to be losers than Barca to be great. They're ready to sacrifice everything from money, players, to just stop Barca. Mourinho coach said perfectly. Real Madrid. That's, by the way, this is what Mourinho said in a quote. He said that Barcelona are actually, they hate Real Madrid more than they love their club. Okay? Well, look at this right now. Real Madrid is doing the opposite of what Jose Mourinho said. So now let's talk about Julián Álvarez to Barcelona and how Barcelona will deal with this. First of all, the second bid of Barcelona is being prepared right now for Julián Álvarez, and it's gonna be sent at the right moment. It's gonna be sent at the right moment. By the right moment, I mean probably next week when everything comes down, because Atletico Madrid are going through the 5 stages of grief. First of all is what denial, saying that no, there was no bid sent. Then after that, it was anger, which is happening right now. They're gonna be like, oh my god, we're gonna send a complaint to FIFA, we are angry, they are liars, Gilmarin coming out speaking, this and that, all of these, their fans burning shirts. This is, by the way, what's happening right now, anger. The next stage will be negotiating. This is what they're gonna be doing. They're gonna sit down on a table and they'll be negotiating and acting so tough, and they're gonna ask for like a release clause to be paid 500 million, 300 million, bullshit. But what matters the most is that they're gonna be sitting down on the table and listening to offers rather than not even looking at them. So, next step after the negotiations will be depression. Okay, they're gonna sit down in there and they're gonna be sad and act like, oh, look at Julián Álvarez not helping us after what we did to him, oh, this and that. They're gonna start acting sad, they're gonna start acting like they are the ones being hurt and disrespected in here, even though that no one disrespected them. Barça been class in this, Barça been working professionally, they didn't speak like with the media, they didn't speak with journalists, they didn't actually say trash talks on social media, they didn't say bad things about nothing was talked, just actions rather than words, and waiting, like they say, tranquilidad. So acceptance will be the last stage, which will happen by the end, and they're gonna sit down in there and they're gonna accept that they have to sell Julián Álvarez to Barcelona. They have no other option apart from letting him leave and investing that money in something else that will help the team to reach the 3rd position in La Liga.